Welcome to Innovators Journey, the show where we highlight leaders and change makers working to inspire healthier habits, stronger communities, and a more sustainable future. I'm Nick Frank, and today I'm joined by Meryl Fury, President and CEO of the Plant-Based Nutrition Movement. Through her work, she focuses on helping communities explore whole food, plant-based living as a way to support personal well-being, environmental stewardship, and long-term sustainability. Her mission centers on education, access, and empowerment, meeting people where they are and giving them practical tools to make thoughtful choices for themselves and the planet. Meryl, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, Nick, it's so nice to be here. I'm having a great time already. What a great start.
Awesome. Well, hey, it's so fun to learn about you and what you're working on. And let's just get into it. Tell me a little bit about the plant-based nutrition movement. What inspired you to start it? Where did this all come from?
Yeah, so I actually didn't start it. Let me give credit where credit is due. It was started by an interventional cardiologist here in the Chicago area. That's the part of the country I'm in. His name is Dr. Stephen Loam. And as a cardiologist, he saw that his patients actually were not really getting better, even though they were following all of his recommendations and taking the medications and doing, eating what the local 3-letter organizations tell a person to eat. They were not really improving. In fact, their diabetes was getting worse and their heart disease was getting worse and their high blood pressure was increasing. And in his effort to make a difference for his patients, he started looking for a way to improve their outcomes. And he also was looking for a way to take care of himself. And he came upon lifestyle medicine and plant-based eating, dove deep into that and brought it to his practice. And that's how plant-based nutrition movement started. It really started, the seminal moment, if we could say, is that he started working with his patients, teaching them about plant-based eating and lifestyle medicine and making sure you get enough sleep and you're drinking water and you're getting exercise and all the things, right? Avoiding toxic substances and toxic relationships, all the things that can tear down our health. And what happened was his patients started to improve, noticeably. And his, the health system that he worked for didn't really like that because he was not bringing in the amount of money that they had contracted and expected him to bring in. So he was told that he needed to start bringing in more money or look for another job. And since he needed to keep his day job, he sort of scaled back his lifestyle medicine approach in his clinical world, but he created plant-based nutrition movement so that he could still get the message out without running into trouble with the health system. Yeah. So that's how it started. About a year after it was started, I was elected to be president and CEO. And that has been such a beautiful and, fulfilling, fabulous journey experience to do this work and work with people who otherwise wouldn't get these messages and might succumb to high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, and things like that.
Yeah. And for the individuals, for the families that have been curious about this, right? Maybe have kind of tiptoed with plant-based meals and incorporating more of that in, what would you say? It's hey, here's some things you can do, right? Here's some simple things you can do to kind of get started in this.
One of the most important things, I'll say two. One is be a little bit brave, a little bit adventurous, right? So go into the produce section of the grocery store. Start there. You could actually go in the frozen section too. That's not a bad, that's actually can be a wonderful substitute for fresh. And find foods that either you are familiar with and you're willing to try again or try more of, or find something new. If you have children, we work a lot with children at a nonprofit. If you have kids, ask the kids to find a recipe and go to the grocery store with you and pick out that red vegetable you need, or a blue fruit, or a green leafy vegetable, or something like that. Whatever it is. It takes a little bit of courage, just a little bit. And then I think the second part is making sure you have decent recipes. knowing where to go to get solid, reliable recipes that you like, how to season, how to cook. So there's a few things, but not at all insurmountable.
Yeah.
People can learn.
Yeah, you touched on something that hits for me, which I have a 5-year-old who the colorful vegetables are not quite in her range yet. Anything that's green, she's not quite a fan of. Fruits, loves them. She will eat berries for days and days and days, but you put a piece of broccoli on her plate, and yeah, she's not a fan of that.
Yeah, one of the things about kids is they defend against things that are new, and the more that you expose them to the broccoli, the more normal it becomes. It's just part of this is what we're having for dinner. And if the parents at the same time are like, "Wow, this is such good broccoli. I can't. Did you pick this out at the grocery store yourself? Oh my goodness." I mean, they're way more willing to try and accept. Another thing is that a lot of kids, they're not used to certain textures in their mouth. So if they eat the broccoli, and broccoli is a little bit of a curious texture, it's got those little, knobbies, little flower buds. Like, what is that? You can always congratulate your little person for being brave and for trying something new. And that, maybe you never had that in your mouth before, That's great. You're learning something new. Give me words. Describe that for me. What is, and then you build their vocabulary. You can have them draw pictures. There's so many ways you can take it. But I encourage you to continue. It can take up to 20 times of giving a kid something new before they'll actually eat it.
Oh, we're experiencing that now. We're slowly getting there. We're getting there to some of the things that, carrots are now something. She's like, okay, like I can do this. Like I can do this. So some of them we're getting there on. Beyond just the food itself and beyond the nutrition side of it, a big part of your movement is also addressing environmental sustainability, creating a healthier planet. Like, how do you feel like the plant-based nutrition movement does that?
It is through education. Everything we do is through education and giving experiences and things like that. Related to the planetary side of things, what we know is that our current food system is really, really difficult for the planet. This is where we come up with things are not sustainable. So if we are trying to feed everybody in the world lots and lots of animal products, that means we need lots and lots of land to raise those animals. What it requires to raise animals enough to feed even a family is more than what they return in food benefit. So if we can eat more plants, continuously try to put more plants on plates, it's easier on the planet. The animal agriculture, our demand for beef in particular, is one of the primary drivers of rainforest deforestation. Nobody wants to kill off the Amazon. Nobody wants to kill off the rainforests in Southeast Asia either, or wherever else they occur. So we have to kind of open up our way of thinking that the food system that we are embedded in is just not sustainable. If we can decrease the amount of animal products that we're using and increase the amount of plant foods that we consume, it's just easier on the planet. We're using less water, we're, polluting less, we're using less land, we're, taking care of the planet in a better way.
Yeah. And Meryl, if there's individuals out there that want to learn more about what you're working on, what the plant-based nutrition movement is all about, where can they go to find more information?
Yeah, so our website is probably the best place. That's pbnm.org. You can see just about everything we're up to right there. We have new projects coming online all the time. We work collaboratively with other groups all the time, always interested in sharing what we're doing and supporting other organizations, working hand in hand, literally anywhere in the country and internationally. Our mission is to make a difference with human health and, by extension, decrease the impact on animals and the impact on the planet.
Awesome. Well, Meryl, thank you so much for joining me and sharing your perspective and telling me all about the plant-based nutrition movement today.
My pleasure. So glad to be here with you.
Awesome. Well, hey, if this conversation gives you some new ideas, follow the show, share it with someone who's curious about maybe making a change in how they eat or their educational awareness of the plant-based nutrition movement. Once again, thank you to Meryl Fury for joining me. I'm Nick Frank, and we'll catch you for the next Innovators Journey.